Ang sa Commission on Elections ay patuloy pa rin mag-implement ng batas. Ano ba yung nasa batas? We'll have the election count this May 12, 2025. We were not, no interruptions were made on that preparations we have, no? Even in the Bangsamoro parliamentary elections. So what I'm saying is that continue itong election natin. So tatanungin natin ang Commission on Election, tatanungin natin ang Commission on Bank, continue itong preparation, continue pong election natin. And we will not consider any interruptions for that. And it's of course, subsequent orders will be passed by authorized authorized agency or authorized forum for that matter.
Attorney, kumusta po ang ating mga ginagawang paghahanda para po sa darating na BARM election, itong parliamentary election nga dyan sa BARM?
Yeah, despite all the intervening events, no? Just like the decision of the Supreme Court, tuloy-tuloy ang ating preparation. In fact, we are on track with the timelines and set with the Commission in Bank and the law. So tuloy-tuloy po yan, and we are, as I've said, keeping on track of our activities in accordance with the timelines.
May dalawang option daw kayong pinapanukala na iiral o ipatutupad sa kauna-unahang parliamentary polls. Ano-ano ho ba ito?
I would like to correct that, no? I would like to stress it's not an option. It's actually the effects of the decision of the Supreme Court. Unang-una, ang unang effect ay nabawasan yung parliament members if we are excluding the province of Sulu. It's not as option, it's the effect of the decision of the Supreme Court. I want to correct that. In fact, with your reporter, somehow, as I've said, nawala ng 7 seats ang ating parliament. So we will not be complying with the requirement of the law na kailangan na 80 seats ang parliament. Kung matanggal ang Sulu, excluding Sulu, then 7 ang seats na matatanggal because it has been allocated to that province ang 7 na seats na parliament. So ang mangyayari po magiging 73 na lang. So dapat may mandatory law na ipapasa ang parliament para mapagpunan itong 7 seats kung saan man ito idadagdag sa remaining geographical areas or sa remaining provinces and cities. And of course, kung sasabihin nila na hindi nila kaya, then apparently the Commission on Election will still proceed with the elections, but based on the available seats as required by the law and the resolution.
Po, Chief Attorney, para lang din sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan hinggil nga dito sa naging desisyon ng Supreme Court, bakit ho ba ay tinanggal o hindi napabilang dito sa BARM ang Sulu?
Actually, based on my reading of the decision, which admittedly hindi ko nabasa lahat, kasi ang habaan with all those activities that we underwent for the past days, talagang hindi ko nabasa lahat, but as I peruse on some points and of course salient features of the decision, makikita natin na Sulu was excluded because they voted no in the ratification of the organic law. The organic law, as we all know, is Republic Act number 11054. Bumoto po ang province of Sulu na no to the ratification nitong batas na Republic Act 11054.
Opo, linawin lang din po natin, Attorney, ang Sulu ay hindi na kasama dito sa BARM, hindi lang dahil sa eleksyon, kundi talagang hindi na siya sakop ng BARM. Kahit walang eleksyon pang sinasabi pinag-uusapan natin.
Hindi siya kasama sa parliamentary government ng BARM.
Oh. Pero sa ngayon, Attorney, ilang probinsya na lang ang sakop ng BARM para sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan?
5 probinsya ang kasakop ng BARM sa ngayon.
Ano-anong mga probinsya po ito? Lanao del Sur, kasi kabilang?
Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao del Norte, Maguindanao del Sur, Tawi-Tawi and Basilan.
At dito po kukunin yung Papaano yung magiging proseso po niyan na attorney? Ngayong pitong 7 seats po ang nawala. Kailangan ba required o mandatory talagang mapunan yan maging buo yung 80 seats ng parliamentary?
Nakasaad sa batas. No, I'm not saying na kailangan or hindi. Basta nakasaad sa batas. 80 ang kailangan na members of the parliament, and it should be allocated to all the geographic areas of BARM. So nakakalagay dyan sa Republic Act 11054, and by reason of that law, the organic law, and the issuance of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code, ang ating parliament ay nagpasa ng batas na inallocate ang mga 80 seats na ito, no? Actually, 32 seats for the district representatives, 40 seats for the party representatives, and 8 seats for the sectoral representative. But I'm not saying that it's mandatory or whatever nature. But as I've said, nakasaad sa batas.
Po, sino po yung magde-decide? I mean, kung sakali man, may 7 seats na ipupuno po doon diyan sa nawalan, no? Palit dito sa Sulu. Ang COMELEC ho ba, Supreme Court, ano bang ahensya ng gobyerno?
Definitely, it's not the Commission on Election. It's the Parliament. It's the prerogative of the Parliament. In fact, as I've said, and I'm saying it all again, na ang Parliament ang nagpasa ng allocation of all of these seats. Sila po ang naglagay kung ilan ang sa Sulu, ilan ang Lanao del Sur, ilan ang sa other provinces. Sila po ang naglagay. So, definitely, we have that prerogative.
Po, huli na lang, attorney, bago ko ipasa kay partner Admar, yung proseso naman po ng pagboto, same pa rin dito sa ginagawa nating eleksyon, yung normal nating ginagawa, tao pa rin yung boboto at hindi yung baga, may ilang opisyal o pipili para doon sa upuan para sa parliamentary.
Sa buong BARM, so far as the national and local positions, bubuto naman ang mga taga-BARM for the national position, just like the senators and the party list for these 2025 elections. For them, buboto ang ating mga taga-BARM, ating mga kapatid sa BARM, and of course, they have 2 ballots for the elections. One is for the national local positions, and second to the parliamentary seats. No, iboboto nila sa second ballot. So the same pa rin yan. Ang mga tao siyempre ang boboto. No one else ang boboto sa kanila. However, kapag nakaupo na ang 80 na parliament members, they will select among them. Pipili sila kung sino ang magiging chief minister. But once they were qualified and they assume office, saka lang sila boboto for the chief minister. And that will be ruled by a majority vote.
Sa ngayon, ilang botante na meron tayo sa BARM, attorney?
As of now, we're still ongoing. Our registration is still ongoing. We still have a couple of days to go. September 30 pa ang registration at hindi natin alam kung ilan din ang ma-approve or ma-disapprove nitong huling registration quarter. So, it's not still exact and yung figure na may bigay natin with the province of Sulu, because we originally have this, we have 2.7 million, and with the exclusion of Sulu, tatanggalin ang almost 500,000, and that's 400,000 plus. That would make it 2.3 million ang ating botante sa ngayon. But of course, idadagdag natin dyan yung magre-rehistro from today up to September 30, 2024.
Huli na lang, attorney, partner. Yung mga taga-BARM naman na, nasa labas ng bansa, abroad, pwede ho ba silang makaboto din dyan po sa parliamentary election po sa BARM?
Actually, yung local absentee voting, yung overseas absentee voting are confined only to voting on the national positions, meaning senators and party list, no? Yung overseas voting, absentee voting natin ay yung mga kababayan natin na nasa abroad or nasa labas ng Pilipinas, at yung local absentee voters, yung ating mga local residents or local voters na samantalang napalayo doon sa place of registration nila, pwede silang bumoto sa national and local dito sa Pilipinas. As I've said, yung tanong mo, that's overseas absentee voting, ang maiboto lamang nila national and national positions, including the party list. So, in other words, yung mga botante natin na sa labas, hindi pwedeng bumoto sa parliamentary elections ng BARM.
Po, attorney, mayong buntag si Admar po ito. Sir, gusto ko lang po linawin. No, doon sa 80, sabi nga na 7 ang possible na maalis. Walang kapangyarihan ang presidente po na maglagay ng 7.
Actually, as we all know, the BARM Parliament or the BTA or the Bangsamoro Transition Authority or the BTA, insofar as members is concerned, including the Chief Minister, were appointed by the President. But of course, that's the BTA, the Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Ngayon, we are now going to the Bangsamoro Parliament mismo after the elections. So that as I'm laying that predicate on the table, as I've said, ang presidente rin nag-appoint. But I'm not saying na hindi siya pwedeng mag-appoint for the lacking members of the parliament, or pwede ba siya mag-appoint. It's up, that's an interpretation to be made by the courts.
And siguro nakikita nyo rin po ba na mas maigi na magkaroon ng pagbabago doon sa mismong batas na sa pangunguna ng Kongreso para at least malinaw na hindi na 80 yung mismong kailangang iluklok dyan considering wala na nga po itong sulu?
That's actually an amendment of the law. That's the prerogative of Congress because it's a law, and passage of the law, amending of the law, is the prerogative of Congress. Somehow, I believe that we will go through that process na considering that unang-una nga nahihirapan sa tingin ng lahat na ang Parliament ay makapasa ng amendatory law on the allocation of the member of the seats of the Parliament. As I've said, I would like to clarify na the prerogative of the Parliament is to allocate all of these seats. 80 andyan yan, binigay ng batas. Kung saan man ito ilagay, that's the prerogative of the Parliament.
Opo.
But as I've said, I'm laying the predicate on the table that it's the President who appoint the members of the present Bangsamoro Transition Authority. So there are some legal implications on this. No, as I've said, I'm not interpreting the law. It's the courts who will interpret the law, including that of the Supreme Court who issued the decision. Somehow, doon sa tanong natin na ang Congress ay magpapasa ng amendatory batas, I believe that it's not necessary because binigay na yan ng batas na 80. So dapat 80 ang ating gagawing members of the Parliament. Kung paano ito pagpunan, that's actually a resort to the legal existing issues, including the Constitution, kung paano ito mapunan. Yung sinasabi nga, yung options na ibigay ko, it's not an option. It's already the effect. And to comply with the law, it's up for the court to implement or of course the office of the President.
And alam natin na magiging matiwasay na sana or walang mga hamon na nakikita tayo considering ito yung pinakaunang halalan, no? Magkakaroon na ng kumbaga parang magiging patas na at ang desisyon na ng taong bayan talaga yung iiral, pero ito nga lumabas itong naging desisyon ng Korte Suprema. Nakikita nyo po ba na possible na may mga challenges o problema sa hinaharap o wala dito po sa pagkakatanggal ng sulu, lalo na dyan sa usapin po sa mga seats ng Parliament po, Attorney?
Except for those issues I've stated and we've been dealing in the past days, ang sa Commission on Elections ay patuloy pa rin mag-implement ng batas. Ano ba yung nasa batas? We'll have the election count this May 12, 2025. We were not, no interruptions were made on that preparations we have, no? Even in the Bangsamoro parliamentary elections. So what I'm saying is that continue itong election natin. So far, tatanungin natin ang Commission on Election, tatanungin natin ang Commission on Bank, continue itong preparation, continue pong election natin. And we will not consider any interruptions for that. And it's, of course, subsequent orders will be passed by authorized authorized agency or authorized forum for that matter.
Naging malinaw na po ba, attorney, kung saan magiging sakop ang Sulu? Kung hindi siya sakop sa BARM?
Wala akong narinig, wala akong nabasa kung saan sila sasakop.
And magiging magaan ba ito sa trabaho po ng COMELEC dahil nga nabawasan po ng isang probinsya para sa inyo pong pagsasagawa ng parliament election?
All of the preparations, all of the security concerns we have to deal with refers to the 6 provinces. Babawasan mo ng isang province, so magiging 5. So from 6 to 5, lumiliit ito. So it would be much easier for us to delve on the 5 than the 6.
Kamusta po ang monitoring naman ng COMELEC dyan po sa BARM sa kabuuan, maliban dito sa parliament na election, itong midterm election din po natin, meron po ba tayong mga namomonitor na possible na magiging magulo na naman itong sa BARM? Though sabi ng COMELEC naman dito sa national na significant ang monitor nila na pagbaba ng mga violent election related incidents po.
Actually, as early as last Monday, we had our quarterly disaster. We dealt on the security aspect of the different activities, including the filing of the certificate of plan. Kasi pinalakay natin yan last Monday with the presence of our 6th Division Commander, Brigadier General Navarrete, and of course, our Philippine National Police, Regional Director Dawan through Colonel Siason. We dealt on all of these activities. And this is actually the first one, and there will be a series of meeting and conferences for this. All purpose is to maintain peace and order, and of course to ensure honest, orderly, and peaceful elections, including the conduct of each and every activity therein included. And the first one nga itong filing of the certificate of candidacy come this October 1 to 8 for the national and local positions, and of course the filing ng ating parliament district representatives, and of course the filing of the manifestation of intent to participate come this November 4 to November 4 to November 9. Lahat yan kinoconsider natin, and of course with the dynamic participation and of course vital assumption of the role of the AFP, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and of course Colonel of the Philippine National Police. No, we are very optimistic na mapababa natin, or if not, matotally eradicate natin itong violence that have been present in the previous electoral processes and bonds.
Ayan. Attorney, maraming salamat po sa inyo pong oras at sa pagbibigay po ninyo ng impormasyon ngayong umaga. Mabuhay po kayo. Ingat po.